think of life without music?
I was curious enough to discover and to find out about other artists that existed, so that's how I discovered de Kooning and Kandinsky and Jackson Pollock and all those people. And I found that there was a similarity of energy of what I was doing with their work, and that helped me grow into what I'm doing today. My style was raw, rough, rugged, and raw. So I was one of the lucky ones that was able to transform the energy that I was saying and the energy I had and put it in canvas in a poetic way. The gallery world is very closed, and they weren't really looking towards us and what we were trying to say, because there was a big difference of culture and language between what we were trying to say and what they were trying to show in the gallery. Painting in the streets or painting on trains is not really a socially acceptable form of expressing yourself, but for me it was a normality. Vandal, somebody that vandalized things that became an artist later on. So, I made my vandalism into a work of art. Like this type of stuff, I probably would have done it on the side of a train. It's hard to even, for me, to distinguish what is graffiti and what's street art and all these other names that they try to invent every single day. So I think street art or graffiti is a school more than anything. That's all it is. It's just like, people that pick up a certain energy from the streets and transform it into a form of art. I think by going out there and having that action of painting in the street, it creates an energy and it makes you not just think differently, but be in touch with people directly. There's a different type of interaction with art. And art is not necessarily attached to money. In New York, the energy in the atmosphere, on the air, was more rough in the 1980s, so you had more of a, you had different things involved like drugs and crimes, and people were coming out from under the streets and painting trains, so people were inspired for a whole different reasons. When I seen what the people were doing in Europe, I was like, wow. And their lines were just, the way they compose colors was much more European. It was much more like flowers, like a bouquet of flowers. Whereas we were trying to do mechanical computer styles, So that helped in advancing this whole art form. I probably would have been dead, or I probably would have been in a rehab, or crazy, or in prison, or something like that. If I would have stayed in New York, I gave a lot of it. I gave a lot of my energy to it, and it was starting to eat me up. But it's very, very rare that a graffiti writer or somebody comes from painting in trains and stuff like that. It's still around 30 years later, and it's still painting.
I kick it, I represent the real from the beginning to the end of it.
This is a good example of how you can see through a painting how I'm capable of evolving a style. Now, as you see it, I don't know if you can see it, but clearly this is a tree for me. This represents a tree. And it's very rare that I do anything figurative, because I hate doing anything figurative or representative in my paintings. And this is like the fruit of all the years of taking tags in the streets and getting arrested, and the whole story of my name, of who I am today, which is Jonone, the graffiti writer. My name is art, and not only that, but I'm gonna make you pay for it. It's Generation MTV that I'm doing today.
Comprehended when I kick it, I represent the real from the beginning to the end of it.